And now, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the host of tomorrow's Thespians, Donald Briggs.
Thank you all so much for coming here. I am Donald Briggs. So you all know that Bill Cosby been in the news a lot lately. I seen him perform a live concert about 10 years ago or so. My girlfriend took me for my birthday. I'm black and in show business, so naturally she was white. So she got us front row seats. I mean, we were so close that I was able to smell the flavor of Jell-O pudding that he had eaten before he came out that day. So we take our seats, and a few minutes later, he comes out wearing his cardigan sweater and his corduroy pants and takes a seat in the stool right in front of me and immediately just begins his routine. I mean, he has the audience laughing right from the very beginning. I mean, then for the next couple of hours, bam, bam, just one after the other. Laughter just continued to fill the room. And then all of a sudden, we're getting ready to leave, and I'm walking up the aisle, me and my girlfriend walking up the aisle, and all of a sudden I get somebody squeezing my shoulder. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, I'm ready to throw down. I don't know this person. And all of a sudden I look and I see that it's Bill Cosby's roadie. So he leans in and whispers in my ear, hey, Mr. Cosby wants to invite you to his room. I'm like, I'm all stoked. Oh, man, that's cool. So I turn to my girlfriend and say, hey, Mr. Cosby wants to invite us to his room. And then he leans, then he points and looks at me and said, no, just you. So I turned to my girlfriend and said, okay, why don't you just go and meet me home and I'll see you there, right? She wasn't happy about it, but she agreed. Then she looked at me as to give her money for a cab. I'm like, you got a job? So I have a new girlfriend now, but hey, that's all right, though. I'm going to break Jell-O pudding with Bill Cosby. I mean, that's like Christians breaking bread with Jesus, you know what I'm saying? So me and the roadie, we get to his room and all that, and he comes out and greets me in his robe. And right away, Bill Cosby just begins telling me these stories. I mean, this is Bill Cosby, all philosophical and stuff. He's like way up here. I don't know what he's talking about. So all I did what Charlie Sheen and 2.5 Men would do. I understand. So a few minutes later, they offered me some Jell-O pudding. I'm like, yeah, hey, come on, bring on the Jell-O pudding and all that, you know. So, but the next day I wake up, and I wake up in the bed, and I'm all groggy, and I can't remember anything that happened. I'm calling out for Mr. Cosby and the roadie, but they're gone. And I look over to my left, and I see this note that says, thank you for a very good time. And then I look down to see that I'm naked. I have traces of Jell-O pudding all over my body, and about a dozen empty Jell-O pudding cups around. Now, I'm not saying that something happened. I mean, this is Bill Cosby, America's #1 dad, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happy I got an opportunity to finally tell my side of the story. If anybody sees Gloria, have her. So this is tomorrow's Thespians. This is a show that gives actors an opportunity to show you what it's like in the audition room. But before we get to them, we're gonna meet the 3 individuals who's gonna give them a little guidance. She's a classically trained performer and a professional actress who has appeared in dozens of stage plays, radio, television, and film. She's the official host of the Women's Independent Film Festival. Let's hear it for Michal, Sinnott, everybody. And he's an established author, producer, and filmmaker, and is currently producing an independent film titled Somerset. Please welcome Andre Coleman. And he's one of the top acting coaches in the world, as well as an accomplished television and stage actor. He's preparing to film a lead role in the Spanish Harlem Project. Please welcome Barry Papick, everyone. Before we bring the next contestant out, let's find out a little something about him. Mario Alvarez.
Hi, everybody. We're here this afternoon with Mario Alvarez. Mario, that name and that look is quite familiar. Where do we know you from?
Well, actually, my SAG name, artist name is Mario Z. I've been around for a little bit, but seriously since 1998. But I actually worked more last year than any other. Then throughout the whole period, I was lucky enough to make about $50,000.
Oh, wow, Mario. Let me get a little closer to you. Maybe that'll rub off. That is such great news. What were you doing?
It's only my spare time, mostly commercials.
In spare time?
Some print work. Yes. Well, I call it a part-time job because I'm retired. I'm 74 years old.
You carry it well, Mario.
Oh, thank you very much. You know how to say the nice things in the world.
Well, why do you think they have me in front of the camera? No, just joking. But really, you're doing a great job. So Tell all the other aspiring thespians out there how they can make that kind of money in 1 year part-time. You're doing so great. What's so different that you're doing than other thespians out there?
I don't know that it's any different. I think that one of the biggest things in the industry that is true is that we don't compete against each other, but we have to be unique, and we have to appear unique to the directors and stuff. We have to also be very real, and that's one of the things that has been easier for me than anything else. I don't know exactly why. I think it came naturally. I'm always very real, even when I'm pretending to be somebody else or acting out a part.
Thank you for joining tomorrow's Thespians. Everybody remember this name, and I know you can't forget the face, Mr. Mario Alvarez.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care. Good luck.
Please welcome Mario Alvarez.
Good afternoon. They wanted us to tell you a little bit about what our monologue is about, what we're going to talk about. And I have to say just one word. My monologue is about the truth. Okay? My name is Jesus. It's Jesus now because this time I came back to earth via Mexico way. Yes, and that is justifiable, because at least one Christian religion, the all-American religion invented by a con artist named Joseph Smith, said that when Jesus disappeared, when I disappeared from Israel from the age of about 12, 13, it was because I was abducted by a UFO and taken over to Mexico, where I stayed, where they kept me until I was 30. Then another UFO supposedly took me back to begin the parody, the metaphor of my ministry in crucifixion, to try to become the king of the Jews. But you see, I was supposed to remain alive after being crucified, so one of the things that I did, and this is fact, I actually I actually bribed the guard that was guarding me immediately to give me wine in the sponge instead of water. So I passed out. That's what really happened. I was passed out when they took me to the tomb. That's how I got sober, and the next morning I moved the stone and walked away. And I went very happy. Nobody paid attention to me anymore, but I went home very happy to continue my life with my mate. Anybody knew I had a mate? My mate was Mary Magdalene. And that's the gospel now. They just came out. You heard? Well, Mary Magdalene was Jesus' preferred apostle. And no wonder she was with him all the time, everywhere she went. But why? So was he married to her or not? Well, this is the first lie. There was no marriage then. The institution of marriage as we know it today, my friends, did not come about until sometime around the 13th, 15th to the 15th century. So everybody shacked up then. See? So I went through the whole thing. I was crucified, walked up, and went back to Mexico and lived my life very happily ever after. Feliz, bailando el mariachi, bailando con el mariachi, todo eso hasta que me morí, until I died. And then I was reborn. I was reborn and returned to earth, just like you were promised. Okay? Only this time, I came back a new man. I came back
trusting more and living by the real truth of life. Evolution. Because I read and analyzed critically both this book and the things that this book talk about. See, I realized that evolution had to be true, because how come we all look very much alike, even with the monkeys and the apes? See, I learned that life is one. Life is only one. It just makes very different mutations, many mutations of different types. And we're all made up of atoms. Atoms which make us flexible. It makes a lot of variety. It provides for diversity that we love so much. Right? Yes, that's all we have. Atoms. Somebody says, is that all there is to just a stupid atoms? Yes, my friend, but they're not stupid. Look at, it provides for flexibility, diversity, movement. If it wasn't for the atom, we would all be, the world would be static and dead. But see, the atoms in my hand that make it possible to move my hands, the atoms in this cup and this wine, and the laughter they cause. That's what life is about. That's what Democritus said. Life without fun would be like a long room without end. Thank you.
Mario Alvarez! Mario Alvarez, everybody. Thank you so much, Mario. All right. We got to find out what the judges thought of that, all right?
Oh, that's nice.
That's right.
Well, let me just say this. This book is a lie. This book is the truth.
All right, let's go ahead and find out. Michal.
Hi, Mario. How are you?
I have you.
Good. Did you write this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a writer. You're a writer as well as an actor.
Well, a little writer. I've written some things, but not too much.
Okay.
I wrote this monologue. I wrote others. I wrote one about Robert Williams.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who Robert Williams is, but I do know who Jesus is. So you're playing a Mexican Jesus. Is that what you're?
Yeah. I came back in Mexico.
Okay.
That's why I had the huaraches.
Well, I believe you. It's Mexican Jesus. I think you've got a real great presence about you, and I think you're like a born storyteller. You have a quality about you that's very affable and charismatic. So I don't lose that. That's something to really, to hold on to. But I think in terms of this particular monologue, it's kind of all over the place and it's hard to follow. And so, and I also noticed, we're given a copy of it, and it looks like you kind of did like an improv version of the actual monologue.
That's right.
So I think if you were to perform this in the future, that you would do better service to yourself to find something that is more character-based rather than maybe your belief system. Because this is, I feel like it's hard to separate this piece from you, because it sounds like it's kind of like it's wrapped up in your thoughts and ideas and the way you see the world, which is great, but not necessarily right for a monologue, which I think of more as like a specific character coming from the voice of that character.
Mr. Andre
Robert
Coleman.
Williams, I know.
First off, I think you have an amazing amount of charisma. Let me say that.
Thank you very much.
But I think from a writer's perspective, when we write something, a lot of times we assume that other people will understand the emotional investment that we've placed into it. But sometimes that doesn't come across to the audience. It's just our assumption that people will get what we get because we wrote it. And then when you begin to perform it, we do self-editing on the spot. When you realize, okay, that doesn't work, so I'm gonna change it to this, kind of quickly, kind of thing. I'd like to see you do someone else's work. This came across a little more like spoken word.
Right.
to me than acting, and there's nothing wrong with spoken word. But I do think you have a lot of charisma, and I think at certain points you did really well even with this. But I'd like to see how you would do with somebody else's material.
Thank you. I think you're right. That's why I played a priest 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
All right, Barry Papick.
How you doing, Mario?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Good, good. I think these guys were really nice to you.
I know, man. You can take it. You got Jesus behind you, so don't worry about it.
you
No,
know.
I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, you are? Oh, that's right. He is.
Yes, you
Remember.
No, see, there's a really interesting point here, and the point is that you can present something as a writer, you can present something as an actor. And what you did for us today is you presented something as a writer. So what it came off as was you giving us a presentation rather than a performance. And as the problem with doing your own work, which Andre was just talking about, is that you look at it from the outside, from the outside in. You never drop in fully. You're always editing, and that's what you did today for us. You were editing constantly, and you never really got to perform the piece. So it's hard to critique your acting because I don't think you really ever dropped into your actor here today. It was a great presentation. I'd love to see you, go around the country presenting this and your point of view. By the way, when you held up the books, we couldn't see the books. You didn't explain the books, so that it could have been the Cat in the Hat for all I knew. So there was no, you started this by talking about I want to drop into the truth. And we never got the truth because it was all a presentation and it never became a performance.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I wasn't here to tell the truth. I was here to tell the truth of science, not my truth.
Thank you, Mario. All right, we're going to bring out our next performer this afternoon. Everybody, before we bring him out, let's find out a little something about him.
Hi, everybody. You're sitting in with Linda Leak on tomorrow's Thespians, and we have with us today.
Michael Hardy.
Hey, Michael, look at that smile. You've got the look. Absolutely. All right. What do you think? Doesn't he have the look? Well, welcome to tomorrow's Thespians, Michael Hardy.
All right, thank you for having me.
Well, happy to have you. Look at that smile. You could do commercial. You can do drama. Boy, you're just a step ahead of the game already. And I'm not being impartial either. So, Michael, what brought you into this business, this acting business?
Oh, the acting business was mainly the fun and joy of it. I took my first, actually I went to go play basketball in college, and then I took an acting class, or actually theater. So I had to go watch theater and all that, and I really got into it. I really enjoyed it, and then the things that they do just impressed me. So after basketball, I decided I want to go more into that, and decided that's what I'm going to major in. Because being in college, you don't know what you want to major in. It jumps around, and then acting was I like doing this and everything around it too, because then I majored in theater, so it's the lighting, the directing, the art of it.
So you like being in front of the camera as well as behind it?
Oh yeah, both sides.
Yeah, all aspects of the business.
All aspects. I think they all they work with each other. You can't have one without the other. So.
Well, that means that you were definitely meant to be in this business if you like all sides of it. I understand, you either get the bug or you don't.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, tell us, what genre do you like the most when it comes to acting?
When it comes to acting, probably more comedy, romantic comedy, actually. I don't know, I kind of want to jump into that.
That romantic, look at that camera, that romantic face comedy, Can you just picture him out there? Well, everybody, look for this brand new up-and-coming gentleman. One more time with that name.
All right, Michael Hardy.
All right, now please welcome Michael Hardy, everyone. Michael Hardy.
How's it going? My name is Michael Hardy. I'll be performing a monologue. It's just a straight monologue titled Life of the Party by James Chevalier. I'll just let the monologue go. I chose this one mainly because I never did a straight monologue before. Usually it's a story and then the work's already there. This one I got to expand and base it directly on the monologue written and create my own story before and after how I got to this point.
I was the life of the party. Even when there was no party, I made one happen. I made people laugh. I made myself laugh. Yeah, I worked good and hard to make myself laugh. Lord, you can hear my laugh from a block away. Isn't he something, that Lester? People would say, always happy. Look at him, always with that smile. Hell, even I thought I was happy. As long as I wasn't alone. Can't tell you how I hated that. Being alone. Oh, not everyone signed on. Sometimes I see people frown or move to another table. Once I heard someone say, God, I wish that jerk would keep it down. Who cares, right? Party poopers, get them up in every crowd. Still, wore me out sometimes, working like that. Keeping the motor running, the horn honking, the smoke pouring out. Sometimes I just wanted to come to rest, you know? Stop. Like a shark. That's right. Sharks don't stop. They can't, or they'll die. So, today, I made a mistake. I stayed alone. And then I decided that's what I'll do. I'll just stop. I'll rest. And I took some pills. A lot of pills. Any moment now. You know, feel great. Just one thing, please. Don't laugh.
Michael Hardy, everybody. Michael Hardy. All right. Want to find out what the judges thought of that performance?
Yes.
All right. It's fine. Go ahead. Michal, let's hear it.
Hi, Michael.
Hello.
I think you have a great openness and a great vulnerability, and that will serve you well as you continue on your path. Those are two of the most important things you can have as an actor. An open heart and an ability to connect to your emotions, and so don't ever lose that. I would have loved to have seen this. Well, first of all, it sounded almost in the beginning like this was like a share, like it could have been almost like a share in, maybe like in an AA room or something like that. But then as it went on, I realized that this was like almost like a private confession to someone, and you were killing yourself. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So who is the audience in this, or who are you speaking to in this particular situation?
The audience is, what I pictured is everyone that used to be at my parties and stuff that I was going around to, is just like me being alone and like pretending they're there. It's like, it's a party, it's like the last party kind of thing.
So is it almost like you're talking to yourself?
Yeah.
But you're talking to, kind of like everyone that you're leaving?
Yeah, like.
So I want to see that next time.
Okay.
I want to see that I want that to be clear, because right now there was an ambiguity to who you were speaking to, and I think it took away from those great gifts that you bring.
Okay, great.
So just ground it. You don't need to, and I think take it out here. Like you just spoke to a mirror.
Okay.
You imagine that we were a mirror instead, and you're talking to yourself. You'd be able to go so much deeper. I mean, I see the tears in your eyes. You obviously have a connection to your emotions, and that's a good thing to hold on to, but you could have taken it so much deeper if you really grounded it in that perspective.
Okay.
So thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Andre.
I like what you did. I have one question to start with. At the beginning, you did some motions to your left. What was over there?
I was playing beer pong.
Okay.
It's like reminiscing, kind of.
In the first part of it, you kept looking back to the left, and I thought somebody was supposed to be sitting there.
Oh, okay.
And then you would look at us.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I was a little confused, as if you were supposed to be talking to somebody there, but then you forgot that and you came to us, or how that was working.
Okay.
So I think if you're talking to an audience, stick with the audience, kind of thing. I don't think the beer pong thing was really necessary.
Okay.
It's just an opinion. The other thing is, 2 quick points. I like the layer of emotion, especially at the beginning when it looked like you were just really kind of doing a comedic kind of high thing, and then you brought it down, you brought it back up, and you brought it back down. And the other thing, your explanation at the beginning to us as to what you were doing just came across as nerves.
Okay.
And it kind of made it took me a while after that to become emotionally invested again, because I thought, is he ready, kind of thing. You were ready, so just be confident in presenting it.
Okay.
Is what I would say.
Cool. Thank you.
Barry.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, how you doing, Barry?
Good, good. Andre said you probably didn't need the beer pong thing.
Yeah.
You definitely didn't need the beer pong thing.
Okay.
It just doesn't work. It takes away our attention.
Okay.
I thought that the arc of the piece was a little off. I thought you needed to seed the depression a little bit at the beginning because you started out so high, and I would have liked to seen a little more of the color at the beginning, so we knew, so it connected to the arc at the end. But I think you have a wonderful instrument. Acting is a specific art. I think right now the problem is you're just a little green, and but I think that you have a lot of talent. So acting is a specific art. It's never general. And a lot of this came off as general. Who am I speaking to? What's to my left? Those are things that you as an actor really have to define. No one can define them for you. So the problem here was not that you're not a talented guy, because you are. And the problem here is that you need to do more work on your craft. And, I think that once you do, I think some really great things are going to happen with you. Just remember, acting is always specific.
All right.
Michael Hardy, everybody. All right, good. All right, before we bring out our next performer, let's find out a little something about her, all right?
Hi, everybody. We're back on tomorrow's Thespians, and you're sitting in with your interviewer, Linda Leak, and we have with us someone very special today. It's Lady Lauren Hayes. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Hello.
Hi.
So good to be here.
Hey, you're looking a little nervous. How's it
I'm
going?
very nervous. I'm pretty good, It's just, I was so surprised that I got this. I'm just really excited to be here, and I look forward to doing it, even though I'm really nervous. I think I've got it.
Oh, I think you've got it, too. I can
Thank
just
you.
tell by the look. There's that tomorrow's Thespian look going on.
Thank you,
Well, tell us, Lauren, just a little bit about, first of all, how did you get involved in acting?
Well, ever since I was little, I had kind of wanted to do it. I would watch Disney growing up, and I would think, man, I would love to be on a Disney Channel show.
You make a great Disney character.
Thank you. So honestly, I started about 2 years ago, and my dad was like one time, oh, why don't we just get you like a website, like start on Explore Talent, and we'll see what happens. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought it'd be really fun. So we made a profile. Little things started coming here and there, and I ended up like meeting this agent, and she told me about like the good websites to use, how to get headshots and all these things. And I started to get a lot of jobs, like background jobs, like mainly background jobs, but basically it's websites that I had used. So
Wow, wonderful. Well, tell us, who is your favorite actor?
my favorite actor, I would have to say Johnny Depp, because I feel like he plays so many different roles, and every role he plays, he absolutely owns. Like, I feel like he kills it every single time, and it's just really inspiring because he never had acting lessons. He's just all natural and raw talent. So I kind of look up to him like, man, I wish I could be that good.
And who would you like to act with?
So many people. Definitely him. I think that would be awesome too, but other than that, I would probably say Leonardo DiCaprio, another great actor, Sandra Bullock, just all these people that are just,
great.
yeah, naturally and raw, like talent is just, yeah, something that I would love to work with.
Well, what was the first show that you've ever done?
The first show that I've ever done, do you mean like background or anything like main?
Yeah, just main characters.
Well, I did this Awesomeness TV thing for a YouTube channel called Awesomeness TV, where I got to ask out my crush on a date, And basically the camera crew, they just followed me around at Sky Zone, an indoor trampoline park, and I asked out my crush with a big sign to go to a Tim McGraw concert with me. And then after that, they decided to use me again for a makeover on their show. So I was pretending to get a makeover for the date that I asked my crush on. Yeah, so that was really, really fun. And I really got to experience what it was like to be on a set. I saw the cameras, they hooked me up to a mic, and even though we were in public, it just felt like I was on a set. It was really cool.
That sounds really cool. How long have you been at this?
Just like 2 years. If even that, I haven't really fully like gone into it yet because of school and everything, but I plan to at least try to pursue it in a career if I can. For now, it's a hobby, but it's just something I really like doing. Honestly, I would say actually it was probably a year and a half when we really started like, okay, let's do this.
Well, where would you like to see your career go?
I would love to have my own show. Eventually, I think that would be amazing just to get into a couple movies. Again, I would love to be on Disney Channel. That'd be amazing to have my own show. Total dream come true right there. So I think that would be really cool to do. But something like that.
Do you sing, dance? What other things do you do outside of acting?
I can't sing or dance, unfortunately. I'm not a triple threat in that area, but I do skateboard. I love to surf. I've skateboarded ever since I was like 8. So I know how to do that pretty well. I love to play sports. I can chuck a football. I don't even know. I just, just things like that. More athletic things than yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you'll probably be able to incorporate some of that in some
I'm
of your
sure,
roles in
somewhere.
the future.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, what's the scariest part of an audition that you've ever had?
Oh, the nerves, easily. Just thinking, man, what if I can't get into character? What if they don't like me? What if I don't have the look? Just all these thoughts just come into your head when really you just need to think like they chose you to come audition. It's fine. They're interested in you. And if you kill it or if they think, okay, she looks good for this, you'll get it. Just as long as you just don't care, just focus on what the monologue is saying and you'll be fine. But it's always the nerves, always.
Always.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Well, you're looking a little nervous today. Yeah. Well, you were at the beginning, and now you look a lot more comfortable. Yeah. So we know you're going to go out there and, as you say, kill it, Lauren Hayes. And we want to say thank you so very much for joining us on tomorrow's Thespians, and good luck to you out there.
Thank you so much.
Please welcome Miss Lauren Hayes.
Hayes, and I am performing Richard Fisher's Funeral by Kelly Powell. You don't get it. I've spent every waking moment trying to keep my father from exploding. I have been afraid of him all my life. I spent every moment trying to do absolutely everything right. And not just believing, but knowing that one day he would kill me. That he'd kill us all. My first memory is the day my brother spilled a can of paint down the stairs. My parents were painting the house, and Ricky thought he was helping, but it was too heavy for him, and paint just went flying everywhere. I held my breath. I don't know why I thought that would help. My father put his fist through the wall. I screamed, and Ricky and I started crying. And the whole time he just kept yelling at us to stop crying. Well, I couldn't. And my mother, she couldn't do anything to stop it. I was 4 and Ricky was 2. I've been living in that hole in the wall ever since. No, I can't forgive him. And I won't pretend. So go read Footprints in the Sand if it'll make you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Today, my father's going in the ground. Except, I don't remember having a father. A father couldn't do that to his kids.
Lauren Hayes, everybody, Lauren Hayes. Ready to find out what the judges thought about that performance?
I am.
All right, good.
Hi,
Michal.
Lauren. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's this is it's a scary, very vulnerable piece, and it's great that you were able to get to sit in that emotion as and have it take you through the piece. I think it was great. I would like to see as you start to talk about you move past the memories and you're talking more about your inability to forgive him. I want to see another layer of anger, because I feel like you really have the pain, but I think you could take it even further and really explore with her, with the character, the anger as well. Because I saw mostly one layer of emotion, and I think now you can invest it with even more. So I would just encourage you to do some backstory work on this person and find out not just the pain, but where really dig in there and find out what she's pissed off about as well.
Right, I completely agree.
But thank you, good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Coleman.
Hi. I thought that it was really good, and I was really you drew me in very quickly, because right after you introduced yourself, you kind of instantly changed your emotional state, which I thought was really amazing. There's not really anything I can add to what's already been said. I agree. I just think that, another layer would be really good in there. But other than that, really good work.
Thank you.
Barry.
I could add a lot.
Add a lot. Fire away.
Your work was really good. It was very good. Michal is right. It was basically one note. So how do we fix that? You have a wonderful emotional instrument, and your preparation was really strong. I can see that you really worked on your preparation, and I really appreciate that. I studied with a woman named Uta Hagen, and all of her work was based on preparation. So I thought that you came and you were really prepared and ready to work. Unfortunately, if emotion was acting, my mother would have been a star and my grandmother would have been Duza. No one could reach emotion like they could. Unfortunately, acting is about more than that. It's about cover, and that's what Michal is getting to. Anger is never a final stop, but anger is a cover. We live in our truth 100% of the time. We cover that truth 97% of the time. So we have to, as artists, really choose when we cover that truth. And I think that was what was missing here. I'm just going to recommend a couple books that you look at, because I think you're so talented, and I think these will help you a lot. One is Harold Clurman, who always talked about script interpretation. Clurman was the genius of what we do. And he wrote a book called Fervent Years, which I think would help you a lot. And then there's a woman named Susan Batson, who's one of the great acting coaches in the world, my acting coach. And she wrote a book named Truth. And truth is basically how to take the truth that you have and mold it into the art of acting. I thought what you did was really wonderful. If you did this in an audition, they would have loved you and they would have asked you back, but it wouldn't have been enough. So the next level is where you want to go. You have a wonderful instrument, you have a wonderful truth. So now what we have to do is find how to cover that truth in art.
Perfect, thank you.
Pretty good feedback. Anything you want to say?
I can't say anything other than I completely agree. I could have definitely gone to the anger side, because I was thinking about how could there be a backstory to this? Obviously there's going to be anger besides sadness. So yeah, definitely I will work on that, and thank you, definitely.
Thank you.
I was concerned when I first read the monologue, because her dad is in the audience. I was thinking about that. I said, I didn't know if he was going to jump. I didn't know if he was going to jump out of the audience. So we actually have security guards all around there just in case of that.
No,
Lauren, thank you so much.
Yeah.
A pleasure, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Lauren Hayes, everybody. Lauren Hayes. All right, we're going to bring out our final performer for this show. before we bring them out, let's find out a little something about them.
Hi, everybody. We are here on tomorrow's Thespians today, and we're sitting in with.
Patrick Hume.
All right, and make sure that's Hume, like Zoom. That's what you told me, right?
That's what I told you. Zoom.
So, Patrick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, born and raised in the great state of Minnesota, and actually grew up playing sports, basketball and golf. Actually went to college to play golf. And they built a new theater down there. And I kind of loved the movies and whatnot, but two things happened when I was down in Texas. One, I saw Lawrence of Arabia. Anybody familiar with that film? I'm sure you are. Blew me away. Peter O'Toole, David Lean, the whole thing. That really inspired me. And then at the same time, they were doing My Fair Lady at this new theater. So I auditioned for the show. Couldn't sing, couldn't dance. They cast me in all the little bit parts. But I fell in love with the community of theater and the acting. So those two things happened, and quit the golf. And the rest is history. I've been acting ever since. Left Texas, went back to Minnesota, studied at the University of Minnesota, and then made the move to Hollywood.
Mr. Hume, I just came through Minnesota, and it was below zero. It was very, very cold.
Yes.
How are you surviving there?
Well, growing up, okay, I got out of there when I was young, okay? I grew up there, I went to school there, I went to a little college there, and then I got out. So, but the seasons are great, but yeah, the winters are brutal.
Winters are brutal. I'm from Chicago, so
Okay.
I know,
So you know.
but it's pretty colder there. So listen, as a thespian, coming up in Minnesota, what gave you the inspiration? Because it's not really so much an acting town.
No.
So how did you get this acting bug?
Yeah, no, you know, I really, obviously, movies I enjoyed, and I liked it, but like I say, I was really mainly into sports. I didn't really think much about doing the acting, and then in high school there were certain extra classes, you know, you could take little different things, and I got into some improv classes and some radio classes, and being a Leo and being kind of
There it is.
right. So you know, I dug it, but then again, I got the thing to go play golf down in Texas, but it kind of stuck with me. And then, like I say, it's just one of those moments, you know. I know other actors have told stories about either seeing a movie or seeing an actor or going to a play or reading something. Just seeing that movie really transformed my life. It really changed the course of my life. So that really, it actually happened in Seguin, Texas, of all places, where talk about there's no acting in Minnesota. There's really not much going on in Seguin.
So what was the first show that you've ever done?
The first thing I did was down there. I did My Fair Lady, and like I said earlier, I mean, I could not sing or dance, so they told me, you know, Patrick, you know, you mouth the words. But the scariest part was doing the ascot, where, you know, you're in the tux and you have to come across this huge stage carrying the champagne glasses. And, you know, I'll never forget, you know, what a rush and a thrill that was. I mean, no lines. I just had all I do was a little bit player coming across the stage. But it was, that was the very first thing I did. And then I went back to Minnesota and studied at the University of Minnesota, where I was doing different, you know, promotional videos and some theater. But then I realized, you know, I needed to make the jump to one of the coasts.
And here we are. Okay, everybody out there, make sure you check them out, all right? Mr. Patrick Hume.
Thank you.
And
so
thank
much,
you for
Linda.
joining us on tomorrow's Thespians
You bet.
today, and good luck to you out there.
Thank you. I'm going to need it.
All right, everybody, Patrick Hume. Give it up.
Hello, I am Patrick Hume. I've written a piece called I Am Not Here. It is about a victim of extreme child abuse. I am not here. I know it looks like I'm standing right in front of you, but I left a long time ago. When exactly? I am not sure. It could have been the first time you hit me. Or the second, or the third, or the fourth, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, maybe the ninth, possibly the 10th, and so on and so on. But somewhere in amidst all that it's for your own good parenting I left. I went deep inside myself. I went to where I was safe from you. A walking coma. Then, on my 18th birthday, I marched out the front door vowing to return. William Francis Baxter, I have come home. I have come home to hit back. And my hits are going to come all at once, a lifetime of it's for your own good, all in one glorious afternoon. And I even brought one of your favorite props for the occasion. Ah, you've wondered what happened to Grandpa's cane. So, if you are alive when I'm finished, please, let me know if it was for your own good. You ready, Dad?
Great job, Patrick. Great job. All right, Patrick Hume, everybody. All right. Michal, let's hear what your thoughts are.
Okay. Hi, Patrick. I remember you from a couple years ago.
Yes, good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You've grown.
Thank you.
I think you've grown. Yeah, your piece was very different. The last piece you did.
Very different.
But
very long.
I see like a groundedness in you and like a stillness. I think you're finding your stillness that I didn't see even just in between monologues. Like there's something more grounded about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely something I've worked on. I was all over the place.
And I see it.
And still am.
Well, most artists are.
Yeah.
But it is important to find that grounding, and I think that you're tapping into that. So
Thanks.
well done.
Thanks.
I think that you did a nice job with this. I would just encourage you to take it. It wasn't clear to me that he was necessarily in front of you in the beginning. Is the idea that he's maybe in like a comatose
We're in the basement
state?
where he used to beat me. He's tied to a chair in front
He's
of me.
tied to a chair. Okay.
Gagged and tied.
Can he talk?
No.
He can't talk. So you're
No.
answering for him when
No,
you say
he's-
when exactly, and you
Oh,
hear
this is
it.
all yes. No, I'm in
Okay.
complete control now.
Okay, so I think you can make that much more specific.
Okay.
And I mean, there's obviously a real sadistic quality to really doing that.
Yeah.
So you also, like the last performer, need another layer. You've got the hurt and the pain of this, but you're about to possibly kill your father.
Right.
And and you probably are going to enjoy it. So I want to see those other layers. You just need to you need to go back and do more homework on it.
Yeah.
And really, and I think it starts with the emotional memory of what your father did to you. And if
Yeah.
you really make that specific, the anger and all those other layers will come.
I appreciate that, and I get that. Yeah, thank you.
Andre.
Very good work.
Thank you.
2 quick points. First on writing. Writing is rewriting.
Okay.
Rewrite. You resonated with me until you got to the last sentence, "You're ready, Dad." And then I thought in my head, the first thing that went off was, wow, he really didn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, as far as being grounded, I saw some Joker in there, Batman's arch enemy. But then I kind of saw some different things that lost me a little bit. So I think if you kind of work on it a little bit, I think it was great.
No, I appreciate that.
But I think if you just work on it a little bit and kind of get that straight emotional core all the way through with layers, I think it would really.
Yeah, I found
really be
working on
amazing.
it every time affected me in such different ways, and almost like getting close to something I'm even afraid of, and then I cover.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think.
I also, what I would like, if I could just continue real quick, and I know we're short on time, is I like the fact that I had to wait for it, and when I went along with you, and then I find out that it's your dad. But at the beginning, your acting led me to believe you were in a conversation that he could speak back.
Okay.
That I didn't know he was gagged until you said that. But other than that, very good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Good. Thank you.
Barry.
Hello again, Barry.
Hey, Patrick, great to see you again,
Good to see
man.
you, sir.
I'm really glad that you're here again.
Me too.
I enjoyed your work the first time you were here, and I enjoyed this. But there's places to go with this, so let's talk about that.
Sure.
I think, first of all, you said that it affects you in different ways when you perform. I think that you have to be careful of that because that's the writer talking, not the actor talking.
Right.
You have to solidify the piece and make the choices. I think that Michal said something that was really important, and that's the emotional memory at the beginning of this. All my work is based in emotional memory. And the emotional memory at the beginning of this has to be incredibly strong, and it has to be incredibly specific. If it's specific, then you won't be all over the place. You'll be in the same place. We don't want you to do the same monologue every time, but we want you in the same ballpark every time. I thought that you need to lift. You can't put him in a chair in front of you because what happens is we lose you. You start acting. We call it acting to the mushrooms because you're acting to the floor rather than acting to us.
Right.
So put him over us so we can see you, and then this way it really presents you. You got that gorgeous face. We have to put that face out there, man. The other thing is that if I was directing this and I'm not, I would, instead of putting as I think these guys were alluding to, instead of putting that layer of more hurt in there, I would put a layer of confusion in there because I think any time that we're presenting ourselves in front of our father, to hurt him, there's different layers, and there's always a layer of am I doing the right thing? And so I saw the sadistic layer. I love that. I would add another layer underneath it, a layer of confusion, which would really color it in the right way.
Right, I understand. Okay.
And so I thought, I thought that it was really good. I thought the work was good. I thought you approached it a little bit too much as the writer as opposed to the actor. But I think you're a very talented actor.
Patrick Hume, everybody. Patrick, great work as always. All right? Wow, we've seen the last two monologues. We have Lauren Hayes' dad and Patrick Hume's dad. I say we put them both together and see what happens, folks. I don't mean to call you out, Shane. I know you're in there, but I've known one of your wife and lovely family. So that's just my thought. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we've come to the end of the show. We're going to go ahead and bring all of the performers back out and get some last-minute words from the fabulous judges, all right? Performers, please join me on the stage. Everybody, give it up for the performers. Come on out. All right. Come on out. Mr. Alvarez, come on, sir. All right, thank you all so much. Let's get some last-minute words from the judges. Michal, please, start off.
I think you guys all did, there were really lovely things about all of you. And you just, acting is, it's a life pursuit. I mean, I've started acting when I was 7, and, I hope I'm acting when I'm, into my 110s. So it's, just remember that anything we, take what's constructive that we have to say to you, but, don't, it's just someone else's words, at the end of the day. Take what works for you, and just continue to grow. And thank you for your bravery for coming up here and performing. It's not easy, but it gets easier.
I was just thinking about quitting.
Don't quit. No. I mean, the world doesn't need more actors. I mean, that's for sure. So if you want to quit, there's something else you want to do it.
Yeah, never quit. Yeah.
But if you have a spark in you to do this, then do it. And don't let anyone's critique stop you from living your dream.
Anybody who's ever made it has been critiqued.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's ever made it has been
and laid
critiqued.
out
Yeah.
for them,
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You should read some of my reviews.
Yeah.
They're not very nice.
Everyone gets bad
Yes,
reviews.
exactly.
Yeah.
Andre.
You know, the first thing I ever wrote for a living came back with so many red lines through it, and you know, I thought the same thing. Is this really for me? But you know what? I decided to do the hard work. So I would say to all of you, you know, invest in yourself and do the hard work. Don't quit just because, you know, I looked up and said, okay, well, I really didn't get it or something like that. I mean, I think all of you guys have a lot of talent, you know, and go deep, find that talent, and keep going. So hopefully this experience will take you guys all to better places. But thank you again.
And Barry.
I was so afraid when Michal said she started acting at 7 and then was still acting. I thought she was going to say when I'm Barry's age. I don't think so. So I was really worried about that. I thought every one of you did a really good job in moments of your piece. I think that it's important, you know, to break out what went well today and what didn't. I think that acting is about preparation, and acting is about doing the work. There's no magic to what we do. We work really hard. It's you know, lawyers come out of law school and they stay at the law firm. They work 100 hours a week. Doctors sleep at the hospital. What makes us so special that we don't have to put that kind of work into it? And when you think that you don't have to put that kind of work into it, that's when you end up selling used cars in Van Nuys. So acting is about skill, it's about preparation, and it's about work. I thought you guys did a really good job, and thank you so much for being here today.
All right, we've come to the end of the show, everybody. Let's thank these wonderful performers, please. Let's thank the judges. And thank you, audience. Really appreciate it. And thank you for the crew. Everybody, thanks so much. This is tomorrow's Thespians. See us next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Great job.